Welcome to your daily dose of ancient wisdom. Today we start with the reading of Srimad Bhagavata Mahipurana, part 1, which begins with the extract from Padma Purana, a dialogue between Narada and Bhakti, which is in a living form. We sing the glory of Sri Krishna, who is all truth, all consciousness, and all bliss, who is responsible for the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the universe, and who puts an end to the threefold agony, namely, 1. That having its origin in its own body or mind, 2. That inflicted by other creatures, and 3. That having its source in natural calamities. When Vedavyasa, who was born in an island, saw his son Sukha going away all alone with the intention of leading the life of a recluse, even though the latter had not been invested with the sacred thread and accordingly had no occasion to perform any secular or religious duties, the sage felt distressed at the thought of his separation from the latter and called out, "Hello, my son." At that time, it was the trees that responded on his behalf, filled as they were by his presence. I bow to that juvenile sage Sukha, who being one with the universal spirit has access to the hearts of all created beings. Bowing to Suta of exalted wisdom seated in Naimisaranya, Saunaka, who was clever at enjoying the flavor of nectar-like stories connected with Lord, said as follows. Saunaka submitted. O Suta, possessing as you do the splendor of millions of suns, capable of completely dispelling the darkness of ignorance, kindly narrate to us the best part of Lord's stories, which may prove as nectar to my ears. How does the great power of discernment, which is obtained through devotion, spiritual enlightenment, and dissipation, grow, and how are the delusions and infatuations got rid by the devotees of Lord Vishnu? In this terrible age of Kali, living beings, men, have mostly acquired a diabolical nature. What is the royal road of their purification, assailed as they have been with the fivefold afflictions in the form of nascence, egotism, likes, dislikes, and fear of death? Pray, point out to us now the means which may ever prove to be best of all expedients, conducive to the blessedness, the most purifying of all purifying agencies, and which may lead to the attainment of Sri Krishna. The Chintamani, a gem reputed to be capable of granting all one's desire, can provide only worldly enjoyments, and the wish-yielding tree of the gods the riches of the heaven. A worthy preceptor, however, when pleased, is capable of granting the title to attain Vaikunta, the realm of Vishnu, hard to win even for the yogis. Suta replied, Saunaka, surely there is love in your heart for the Lord, and therefore, after due deliberation, I shall disclose that which is the essence of all established conclusions. Nay, I shall tell you that which is capable of dispelling the fear of transmigration, is prone to swell the idol of devotion, and conducive to the gratification of Sri Krishna. Pray, hear it attentively. The holy scriptures known by the name of Srimad Bhagavata was expounded in the age of Kali by the sage Sukha with the object of completely destroying the fear of being caught in the jaws of the serpent of time. There is no means other than this conducive to the purification of the mind. One gets to hear Srimad Bhagavata only when there is virtue earned in one's past lives. When the sage Sukha had taken his seat in the assembly of sages in order to give his exposition of the Holy Scripture to the royal sage Parikshit, guards arrived there in a body actually holding a pitcher full of nectar. Bowing to Sri Shuka, the guards, who were all skilled in accomplishing their end, submitted. Accepting the nectar brought by us, pray, vouchsafe to us in exchange the nectar of your discourse. With this barter is made, let the celestial beverage be quaffed by the King Parikshit, while we shall all drink deep of the nectar in the shape of Srimad Bhagavata. The beverage of the God and an exposition of his glory scripture bear no compassion with other in the world any more than a piece of glass and a precious gem can be linked to each other. Thinking thus, Sri Sukha, to whom the knowledge of Brahma stood revealed, laughed away the gods on that occasion. So the tradition goes. Knowing them to be anything but devotees, he did not confer on them the nectar in the shape of an exposition of the Holy Scripture. Thus, the story of Srimad Bhagavata is a rarity even for gods. In the former days, even Brahma, the creator, was astonished to witness Parikshit's examination the way as a result of hearing an exposition of Srimad Bhagavata. In the Satyaloka, his own realm, Brahma, the birthless god, set up a balance and weighed on it the various courses of spiritual discipline. And lo, all others proved too small, while this one, Srimad Bhagavata, proved superior in the point of weight. All the hosts of seers experienced great wonder on that occasion. They came to regard the holy book of Srimad Bhagavata as an embodiment of the Lord himself in the Kali age and capable of conferring the reward of speedy access to Vaikuntha, the divine realm of Lord Vishnu, by merely being read or heard. And heard from the beginning to the end in a week's time, it definitely bestows emancipation. Formerly, it was made the subject of a discourse to Narada by the kind-hearted sages Sanaka and others. Though the story of Srimad Bhagavata had already been heard by Narada, the celestial sage, through his relationship with Brahma, the procedure of hearing it in a week's time was disclosed to him by the above-mentioned sons of Brahma. Saunaka said, "How did Narada, who is above all worldly controversies and does not remain fixed at one place, develop a taste for hearing the procedure of listening to the story of Srimad Bhagavata, and where did he meet them, Sanaka and his three brothers?" Suta resumed, "Here shall I narrate to you an episode connected with devotion, which was related to me in private by Sri Sukha himself, accounting me in his devoted disciple. Once upon a time, it is said, the above-named four sinless sages arrived in Badrikasaram, the sake of Satasanga, fellowship of saints. They came across Narada. The sons of Brahma said, O self-realized saint, why have you pulled a long face? How is that you are afflicted with worry? Were you proceeding in haste, and where have you come from? You appear lost at this moment like a man whose wealth is gone. This is, however, not becoming of you who has given up all attachment. Please point us out the reason. Narada submitted. Knowing the earth to be the best of all spheres, as a matter of fact, I came here and visited Pushkara and Prayaga, Kasi and Godavari Nasika, Haridwara, Kurukshetra, Srirangam, and Setubandha, which is Rameshwaram. Though wandering hither and thither in these and other places of pilgrimage, I found nowhere such a joy as would cause satisfaction to my mind. This earth stands assailed at present by the age of Kali, the helpmate of unrighteousness. There is no truthfulness, ascetics, purity of body and mind, and compassion, nor there is liberty to the poor. The people are wretched and engaged only in filling their bellies. They make false statements. They are indeed slow, extremely dull-witted, of poor luck, and affected. Those who pose as saints are constantly engaged in preaching false doctrines. Those who have apparently renounced the world are rich in worldly possessions and have become family men. Women rule the house. Brothers of one's wife are the only counselors. Out of greed, people sell their daughters. There are frequent quarrels between husband and wife. Hermitages, places of pilgrimage, and rivers are controlled by foreigners, and temples here have been destroyed in large number by those wicked people. There is no yogi, nor one who has attained perfection, no enlightened soul, and no man performing righteous deeds. All spiritual discipline stands consumed by the wildfire of Kali Yuga. In this age of Kali, people at large take to the vocation of selling food grains. Brahmanas sell the knowledge of the Vedas, and women make their living by prostitution. Observing the evils of Kali Yuga, as aforesaid, while touring round the earth, I at last reached the banks of Yamuna, the scene of pastimes of Sri Krishna. There I saw a wonderful phenomenon. Pray hear of it, O great sages. A young woman was found sitting there distressed at heart. Two old men were lying unconscious by her side, breathing hard. The young woman was nursing them. She tried sometimes to bring them to consciousness, and other times wept before them. She looked all around in search of Lord, the protector of her body. She was being fanned and admonished by hundreds of women again and again. Seeing this from a distance, for my part, went near her out of curiosity. The girl rose to see me, and, agitated in mind, spoke to me in the following words. The girl said, Hullo, stay a while, O pious soul, and put an end to my worry too. Your very sight is the best means of completely driving away the sins of the world. My grief will be assuaged to a great extent by your admonition. Then alone does your sight fall one's lot where there is great luck. Narada said, Who are you? How are these two men related to you? Who are these lotus-eyed girls standing beside you? Point out in detail the cause of your misery, O worshipful lady. The girl replied, I am known by the name of Bhakti or devotion. Those two are regarded as my sons. They are Jnana, the spiritual enlightenment, and Vairagya, the dissipation by names, and have become worn out by the process of time. These girls again are the rivers Ganga and others gathered together in living forms for doing services to me. Yet happiness does not come to me, even though I am waited upon by the celestial damsels. Now hear you my story with an attentive mind, O sage rich in Athens. My tale is a long one too, yet hear it and give me some solace. Such as I am, I was born in the Dravida country and attained maturity in Karnataka. I am respected here and there in Maharashtra and attained a ripe age in Gujarat. Mutilated by the heretics due to the arrival of the fearful age of Kali and continuing in the state for a long time, I grew weak and developed sluggishness along with my sons. Reaching Vrindavana, however, I stand refreshed as it were here the endowed extreme comeliness. I have now become quite young again, acquiring the most lovable exterior. Those two sons of mine lying here, however, experiencing great agony due to exhaustion. Leaving this place, I am now proceeding to another place. My sons have attained old age. I am afflicted with this agony. Though their mother, why should I be young? And wherefore should my sons be old? Although we three live together, why stands this incongruity? The natural thing is that the mother should be old and sons young. With a mind seized with wonder, I deplore myself. Kindly declare, O sage, what may be the cause of this, O repository of yoga. Narada replied, with the eyes of intuition, I perceive in my mind all this misery of yours as well as its cause. O sinless one, you should not give way to despondency. Srihari will bring you happiness. Sutta continued. Having come to know the reality in a moment, Narada, the great sage, spoke as follows. Narada said, listen attentively, O young woman. The present is the terrible age of Kali, righteous conduct, the path of yoga, union with God, and the austerities have disappeared under its influence. Practicing roguery and evil deeds, people are turning out to be so many replicas of demon Agha, whose story appears in Srimad Bhagavata chapter 10 and 12. In this age of Kali, righteous men remain dejected and unrighteous feel overjoyed indeed. That clever man alone who maintains firmness in this age is learned and wise. Year after year, this earth has gradually become a burden to Lord Shesha, the serpent god. It is not worth looking at or even touching with one's feet. No signs of good luck is to be seen anywhere either. Nobody even perceives you with your sons at present. Neglected by men, blinded with love for pleasures, you stand enfeebled. Due to the contact with Vrindavana, you have become young and fresh again. Deserving of praise, therefore, is Vrindavana, where bhakti became young and fresh again. Deserving the praise, therefore, is Vrindavana, where bhakti dances with joy. These two sons of yours, however, are not able to shake off their old age due to lack of men having demand for them here. Their deep slumber here is believed to have been brought by the partial gratification of their self through their contact with the Lord. Bhakti said, "How was the impious Kali actually given an abode here? And the age of Kali having set in, how did the valuable essence of all substance disappear? How is it all unrighteousness too tolerated by all gracious Sri Hari? Pray resolve this doubt of mine. I feel gratified by your words." Narada said, "Since I have been questioned by you, O young lady, listen with love. I shall tell you everything. O blessed one, I and your faint-heartedness will disappear. From the very day Lord Sri Krishna, the bestower of liberation, left this earth and ascended to his own realm, the age of Kali, which balks all spiritual endeavors, set in. Seen by the king Parikshit in the course of his conquest of the four quarters, the spirits of Kali age in a living form like a wretch sought the king for protection. The king, who like a black bee took the essence of things, thought within himself, "He certainly does not deserve to be killed by me, for in the Kali age one fully secures through the mere chanting of the names and glory of Sri Krishna, the ruler even of Brahma and Lord Shiva, the fruit which cannot be attained through ascese, concentration of mind, or even through deep meditation. Therefore, perceiving the Kali age to be valuable in this one respect, though devoid of substance in all other senses, Parikshit, the patronage of Lord Vishnu, with a view of securing the happiness and blessedness of those born in Kali, allowed the spirit of it to stay on. Due to the practice of evil deeds, the substance has disappeared from everything in the present age. Like the husk devoid of grain, all things on earth stand divested of their substance. Out of greed for food grains, the story of Lord is repeated by Brahmanas in every home and all and sundry, hence the value of the story is gone. Even those perpetrating most cruel deeds of various kinds and unbelievable men and savages have taken up their abodes in peace of pilgrimage. Hence, the value of sacred place is gone. Even those whose mind is agitated with passion, anger, excessive greed, and thirst for pleasure have outwardly taken to ascetic life. Hence, the value of the ascetics is gone. Due to want of control over mind, greed, and hypocrisy, and due to people embracing heretic doctrines and abstaining from the study of the sacred books, the fruit of Jnana Yoga, the practice or meditation, has also disappeared. The learned Pandits, for their part, indulge in sexual commerce with their wives like buffaloes. They are expert in prostrating children and not at all clever in achieving liberation. Devotion to the Lord Vishnu, following the tradition of particular sect, is nowhere to be seen. In this way, the substance of things has disappeared everywhere. Such, however, is the spirit of the times we are living in. As a matter of fact, who else is to be blamed for it? That is why the lotus-eyed Lord Vishnu tolerates all this, though abiding so close to all of us in our very heart. Suta went on, struck with great wonder to hear the admonition of Narada. Bhakti spoke the following words once more. Listen to them, O Saunaka. Bhakti said, "You are indeed blessed, O celestial sage. You have come here through my good luck. The sight of prior souls is the best means of accomplishing everything in this world. I bow to you, son of Brahma, the recipient of all blessings, treasuring whose single teaching Pradhana son of Kayudha was able in this world to conquer Maya, and by whose grace the celebrated Prince Dhruva to attain an everlasting abode. Thus ends the first discourse entitled The Meeting of Bhakti with Narada, forming the part of the glory of Srimad Bhagavata in Uttarakhanda of glorious Padma Purana.